Today we're going to look at the XRP price chart and we're going to review the different price levels that we're looking forward to during the next bull run. Now we are at the 693rd day of the altcoin bear market. And I know right now it is just feeling like, oh my gosh, here we go again. Another price forecast of hope and optimism. And well, you're right. That's what this is. Uh, we are so deep into this bear market, it becomes easy to lose sight of where we're going because it feels like it's just never going to end. And I can promise you, these people right here were feeling the exact same way, especially when it just kept falling and falling and falling. And you know what? Look how far we are in this bear market. Now, maybe the price levels are a little bit different, but when we look at the time, guys, we have put in the time, right? When the day comes where people say, "Oh, you were so lucky to get in down here when it's way up here." Well, you know what? This was not luck. This was having to go through some pain and some suffering, and it was well earned by anybody listening to this video. Because if just regular normal Joes are not listening to this video, it is people who are committed and who have ridden through the storm. So, congratulations to all of you for making it this far, but we are almost there. So in this video, I want to start looking at what are the price targets. Now, I've gone through this before in one of my previous videos, but hey, I've got a lot of new subscribers, so it doesn't hurt to go through it and show what I'm waiting for in regards to price levels. Um, and we're going to look back into the past, and I'm going to show you other charts besides the XRP chart, like the Bitcoin chart and the Amazon chart and the Ethereum price chart, to show you that the price targets that I'm going after are realistic. They're and let's just let's just dive in. Why even keep talking about it? Let's just dive into the charts. All right. So this is going to be our bear market right here. Yeah, surprise, surprise. Good job, blockchain backer. You were able to figure that out. Congratulations. But this is what we need to use for all of our measurements. So when we measure, I love to use the Fibonacci analysis. If you've been watching my channel, you've seen me talk about this a million times, but I will show why it is so important in this video in order to pick out where the targets are that you're going to go after. Now there is a level that is about right here, and this is called a retrace of a bear market, and this is where you retrace 70% of your total fall. I may I, I may personally sell a little bit right here, but I also may not. It just really depends on how things are looking at that time. But also, just let me remind you before I dig into all these price levels and maybe give you some type of hope or optimism, I am not a financial advisor. This is YouTube, this is entertainment. This is, I'm not licensed. Don't take this as investment advice. You need to make your own decisions. And maybe this will provide you a little bit of help for you to do your own research and your own technical analysis in order to make your own educated decisions. But do not make decisions just based off what you see in my video. All right, we got that out of the way. Let's move on to what I see. So let's get rid of that. We're looking for when we set new all-time highs in a new bull market, what are the main targets that we're going after? The first main target that I'm going to be going after is going to be this 4.236 Fibonacci extension level, which is going to be right around $15. Now, when we go back and we look at like Ethereum, okay, we can see that this is a price level that does get respected. You start at the top, pull down to the bottom of a bearish move, and you can see it reached out exactly to the 4.236 Fibonacci extension level. So that's going to be the first move that I target. Now, one reason why let's go back one more time real fast, back on over to XRP, and I'll show you the next price target eh, that I'm going for, and then we'll come back and talk about why this one is important. The next target that I'm going to be going for is I'm going to line this 0.236 up with the top of the bull market and the bottom of the bear market. That's going to give us this range right here of about 60 to $65. Now that can vary from exchange, so we're just going to go ahead and call that 55. This is CoinTrader Pro, and this kind of takes the information from all the different exchanges and comes up with prices of what all the average of what all the exchanges saw. Now during this bull market, South Korea was had a much bigger price swing, and I think this is taking that into consideration, which is why we're seeing $3.82 as the all-time high, whereas on like Binance or Poloniex or Bittrex or all the other ones, I think we're in the mid threes to lower threes, 330 to 350 rather than 380. So anyhow, back here, we're looking at anywhere between 55 and $65. Now, you'd say to yourself, okay, that's just crazy. Think of what the market cap for XRP would be if we got all the way up to 55 to $65. And that large of a move just isn't even possible, right? Well, that's not true because we have seen moves that large before. For example, when we look right here, we set it right here at the 236, pulled all the way down, and we literally touched the very tip top of it. And you say, okay, well times are different, right? So this is pulled down so strong, there's just absolutely no way that it could ever do that. Well, that's not true, right? So let's take a look at how much we have really pulled back in XRP. Right here, we have pulled back 94.64%. In the last bear market, 95.41. And then it went on. So is it crazy to think that it could do it again? I don't think so. I think it's totally acceptable. Like for example, when we go look at the Amazon chart. So here's just a regular stock. Here is their last bull run, which was in 1999. How big was the pull down on that? Amazon lost 95%. Does that number sound familiar? 94, 95. And then what did Amazon go on to do? Look at that. Line it up down here, and look where we get to. So I don't find it unrealistic to think that this is remote, that isn't possible to occur here. I think it is very possible that it could occur here. But we have to go back and say, okay, well, if we think this is possible and we think this is what's going to happen, then why would we even consider taking any profit or selling anything that would be right here in this $15 range? And it all comes down to Elliott waves. Now, I'm not saying this is what's occurring, and but we have to take it into consideration that, hey, it's possible, okay? So, like, let's say that we are having Elliott waves here, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So you typically, when you have a wave 5, you go a 4.236. And we can see that over here on Ethereum. So Ethereum did the thing that we talk about where we align the 4.23, we align the 2.236 up here, goes all the way up to the 4.236 here. And we do it again here. And it extends beyond that. But then on the final wave, right? So this is the fifth one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this fifth wave, look where it goes, exactly to the 4.236. So that would be in this situation about $15. So you've got that price level that you really kind of have to keep an eye on right there, about the $15 zone. And then, hey, if it's just going to completely redo this thing all over again, then we'd be looking at 55. So then the big one comes up I have a video, it's probably the best video I've ever had in regards to viewership, and that would be where we talk about how the 589 price point is possible when it comes to technical analysis when we're looking at previous fractal overlays. So when we take into account this 4.236 extension, obviously that's if we go right here. But in the last market, it fired up even higher than that, didn't it? So it went well beyond this 4.236 extension and went up another 780%. So what would happen if we have a repeat of that again? What number is that over there on the right side of the screen? 589. So there are your price points. And technical analysis shows them all being possible. So these are the major ones that I'm looking for. Yes, we still have I do personally think that there's a chance that we come down in here into like the 15.4 cents area. Maybe we don't. And I've been in this long enough, and anybody who's been in this for years will know that picking bottoms is very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. It is much easier to pick tops because you can measure them out like this with these Fibonacci extensions. But measuring to the downside is significantly harder. And that's why I use the strategy of where I'm just accumulating and accumulating and accumulating because it's so difficult to find the bottom of these markets. I think so many people have gone through and looked back here at the past to see, hey, will this give us an idea of where the bottom really was? And that's why so many people are still wrong, because when you overlay the past, even these figures, these price levels were so different. And when you look at this past, you can't really come to an obvious conclusion of saying, ah, yes, that's why the bottom was there. That totally makes perfect sense. I'm going to apply that same strategy here, and we're good to go. I think the only thing you can take from the past is the same thing that happened with Bitcoin. So we go to Bitcoin market cap. If you look at the Bitcoin market cap, you can see that it had a drawdown in 2014 of 83%. And then in 2018, had a drawdown of 83% on the total market cap. So if we apply that same methodology to Ripple or XRP, well, it had a 95.43 drawdown. $95.43. We put it right around here, which is about 15 to 16 cents. And that would be the remainder of this move. So that's what I think in regards to the finishing move of XRP. I don't know for sure, and nobody knows for sure, but like I say, the bottoms are really hard to figure out. The thing we have to look forward to is how are we going to figure out where are we going to exit when the exit time comes. And I think that's really all I've got for you guys. So just one more time, we look at the Fibonacci level, and we pick number one right there at the 4.236. Number two, $65 at the 4.236 when we measure it starting at a 0.236 down to here. And then lastly, when we measure here and we look at previous fractals, right here, and somewhere in between 550 and $600. Now, will I personally say, oh, I'm going to bypass that because I'm shooting for that, or I'm going to bypass that because I'm shooting for that and just let it ride? No way. I am personally going to be taking quite a bit here, the most of it here, and then if maybe leave some for that ride right there. And I will leave some for that ride right there. But this will be life changing. This would be great. This would be wonderful. I'm not saying it would drastically change my life, but it would make my life more comfortable, for sure. This would be absolutely life changing. And then this, who knows? Who knows? It's hard to even fantasize about something like that because you have to kind of keep your own personal reality in check and your expectations in check. Because if you were to let this go and let this go to shoot for that, then we would just end up and you ended up in the same situation again from here. Oh my goodness. So, I have my own plan on, getting some out here, getting a lot out here, and then letting a little bit more ride. So we're looking at about $15, $55, and then let's just call it $555. So 1555, 555. And that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. So please hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. As always, this is not investment advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick me up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.
Of the future.